Jumbo Sana, as they say in Kenya. Today, I want to talk about our logo. Recently, I had a conversation with Devin about our logo. We have our legitimate logo, and then we have like a gray version and a white version, and we were talking about the different versions of the logo, and we were talking about the shade of blue, and we brought up the topic that maybe we should explain where our logo comes from, because it's actually incredibly symbolic. The logo has been around since before RKI was a legitimate official business with the government, so I think sometimes I forget to explain kind of where it comes from. So when Devin first got involved with RKI, he was brought on to do graphic design, web design, things like that. And one of his biggest assignments was to create a logo. So he asked me, when you think of Kenya, what do you think of? So my first thought was Mama's property. I thought about the color of her house, the color of her door, and then all of the trees on her property, which is how our logo really kind of came together. If you stand in the middle of her property and look out, there is this massive tree, and it's just gorgeous. And I always think about that tree. It's one of my favorite things about her property. And so I sent a picture to Devin. I was like, these trees are so beautiful. I love the trees in Kenya, and specifically this one tree. So we brought that in and then put, of course, a little outline of Africa in there to bring symbolism in Africa, of course. The writing is that specific shade of brown because that's the color of Mama's house. And on the side of her house, she has the word karibu painted on it. And karibu in Kiswahili means welcome. And so it's very symbolic of how Mama and the Mdawitas live their lives. Anyone who walks through Mama's threshold is family. She welcomes everyone. And so it's just incredibly fitting, and that has always really stuck with me. And I just love that shade of brown. It fit perfectly in. So that's where the brown came from. And so the blue tree. I know it's probably really strange that we have a blue tree because trees are obviously not blue. And originally, the tree was going to be green, and then part of the text was going to be blue, and part of the text was going to be brown. But it just looked off. So we made the tree blue, and it worked in kind of an abstract way. And the blue of the tree is the shade of blue that is Mama's door. It's this beautiful, bright blue door that sticks out and complements the brown of the house really, really beautifully. And the blue kind of matches the sky when the sun is the right angle, and it pops, and it's fitting, and it's perfect, and it's just like Mama. And I have always loved that door, always. And so it seemed only fitting, especially considering Mama's open door policy, that we would bring that in, because that's how we feel at RKI about, we have an open door policy with our customers. That's why we have this vlog. That's why we have everything that we have on our website and everything, because we want it to be very conversational and opening and welcoming. And we want you to feel like friends. And that's exactly how Mama and the Mdawitas live. That's how the Kenyans in general live. So our logo, while at first it just kind of looks like a tree with some writing on it, but it's actually much more than that. It symbolizes, like we were talking about, family, friends, openness. It symbolizes the beauty of Kenya. And it just, to me, it brings that piece of home that I've talked about before, that every time I see it, it brings a smile to my face, because it reminds me of that beautiful place that I call home.